Good morning. Welcome to Lesson 1, Part 10. So, if this is your first time tuning in, you'll want to use one of the links below this video to download a free PDF that will actually have the link for this lesson on it. If this is first time, this lesson will make a lot of sense. You probably want to go back to the first lesson. We started on page 1 of this first quarter lesson texts. There was 2 lessons there. Each link leads to a lesson video. So this lesson is found on page 4. The section heading is Lama Rim's Intellectual Path to a Buddhist Spiritual Mastery. The category heading is Wisdom Training Verbal. And the specific exercise is Contrived Concentration. In prior lessons, we've discussed contemplative notation. And in the very last lesson, we discussed the power of an assumptive question. And I promised you a technique that would be crucial to making this work, and here it is. For an assumptive question to be profoundly effective at transforming us and helping to increase and strengthen our Dharma realizations, it must be a rhetorical question. What's a rhetorical question? Glad you asked. A rhetorical question is a question asked for effect. It's a question asked without intending, expecting, or welcoming an answer. And that's huge. Remember, the target audience of our assumptive questions is not our conscious mind, it's our subconscious mind. Hey, remember in the last lesson we talked about how there's a mechanism, or there could be a mechanism in our subconscious mind that just loves to answer questions. It doesn't care if its answers are correct, incorrect, rational, or ludicrous. It just wants to answer questions. But every time it answers an assumptive question, it accepts the premise of the question. And that's huge. So this is a subconscious process. So we do not wish to derail this process by trying to consciously answer the question. That's huge. But that's also super simple. This becomes basically a reading meditation. On the in-breath, we silently, mentally ask the question. On the out-breath, we verbally intone something. And we'll get into the intonation in a future lesson or a future video. So it's just that simple. In-breath, ask a question. Out-breath, intone something. Folks, there are 2 ways to do anything. There's the hard-ass approach or the lazy bastard approach. This is the lazy bastard school of enlightenment. And what the funny thing is this is as easy as it is effective. A lot of methods claim to be easy, but they're really, really difficult. Like just sit and watch your thoughts. That's difficult. If you don't know how to do it the right way, that's difficult. Don't worry, we get into thought watching later on, but I set you up for success. Some people say, it's got to be tough, it's got to be difficult, and there are austerities involved. And at least those guys deliver what they promise, which is something difficult. But it takes a very long time, and it's not a complete path. The most austere paths I know of dead end at the 6th Bodhisattva Bhumi. Remember I told you on the Bodhisattva path to enlightenment, there are 10 levels or bhumis. It's 10th level being full enlightenment. So there you have it. These are rhetorical questions. It's important that we get out of our own way. So for instance, when we ask the question here, where is this crown ohm wheel? Or more specifically, where is this purple crown ohm wheel? We don't want to actually try to figure it out. We don't want to engage our thoughts and say it might be here, or it might be here, or maybe it's here. Well, let me get a protractor and figure out exactly how many finger widths behind my hairline it is, or how many finger widths behind my eyebrow it is. Don't worry. Your body already knows where the purple crown wheel is. You don't have to visualize it. You don't have to imagine it. You don't even have to feel it. Just ask the question on the in-breath. And on the out-breath, occupy yourself solely with the recitation that is before you. Which recitation is that? Well, we'll explore that in the next video lesson. But before this video's lesson's over, let's take a deeper look into the question, where is this purple crown Om wheel? So, there are many chakra systems, and Americans are most familiar with what I like to call the rainbow chakra system. And according to some teachers, purple is the color of the crown chakra. So, crown refers to typically the place where the three cranial sutures meet, which is a very sophisticated way of saying the fontanel. You know, the soft part on a baby's head. Basically, the very top of your head. Om is a one-syllable mantra. And a one-syllable mantra is called a seed mantra, and seed in Sanskrit is bija, B-I-J-A. So a bija mantra is just a one-syllable mantra. Now, in some systems, they have you visualize the chakras as horizontal discs. In the system that I teach, we play with the idea that the chakras could be perpendicular to your central channel. So, specifically at the crown, it would be horizontal if you're sitting upright. If you're lying in bed, then it would be vertical. But if you're sitting upright right now, like we should be, it would be horizontal. And it would be, the disc would be about the size of a thumbnail or perhaps a dime. Now, once again, it's not impartial. It's not important to visualize it perfectly. In fact, it's better if you don't. So wheel is just the translation of the Sanskrit term chakra. Chakra actually means wheel. And there you have it. So this begs the question, why? For the contrived concentration, why are we exploring the energy center at the top of the head? Because this energy center, it makes it very, very easy to let go. And this whole lesson is about letting go. In fact, some people have said the essence that all of Buddha's 84,000 discourses could be categorized under various topics. And those topics can actually fit under the four headings of devotion, awareness, love, and letting go. So in this lesson, we're playing with awareness and letting go. So this is a concentration that we don't typically do in future lessons, but it's a wonderful concentration to get your feet wet. A lot of people say we're going to start with the breath, or we're going to start with the visualization. This is the easiest, and I'm all about setting you up for success. I want your first taste of meditation to be easy and effective. I don't want you to wait for decades or years to get marginal results. I want you to get good results, solid results, your very first time. You know how I do this. It's very simple. You suspend judgment, you come to class, you learn a technique, you practice the technique once every morning, once every evening for 6 consecutive days. You re-engage your judgment and you notice the results. I want you to keep coming back, so I want to make sure you get profound results every time. I don't have the intestinal fortitude to mess with you. You know, I want this to be as profoundly transformative and as easy and as effective as possible. So there you have it, the power not only of just assumptive questions, but rhetorical questions. Questions that are designed specifically for your subconscious. So your conscious mind all it has to do with is ask a question and then on the out-breath intone something. We'll explore that intonation on the next video lesson. until next we speak, may you and yours be healthy and happy. Om Mani Padme Hum. Before you go, I want to remind you to, let's see if I get this right, got to be all coordinated here. I remind you to click the subscribe button, and then pull your cursor away, and then hover it over the subscribe button again, and it'll make another box appear. And you can click a box within that box, so you can get email notifications every time I upload another video, which of course is very cool. The next series of weekly webinars begins September 6th. I'll see you there. Bye-bye.